my whole job is hopefully to allow you to see that there are ones that kind of lend itself to better strategies than others, and that's kind of where we're going to head. Okay? For instance, if we had one like 34, we're looking at trying to use these identities to match it to where it equals the right side. So what's cool about this is we know the answer is secant. We know that that's the answer. The question is how do we get there? Okay? Now, a couple things that I would do. First thing is identify what is the right side. If for some reason it's in some sort of trig expression, then it will allow me to see what I do over here to get it there. If there's no real, like for instance, this is 1, that doesn't really help me, then I just kind of lend myself to do different strategies to try to get closer to it. One of the best ways, when in doubt, is convert to what? Convert to sine and cosine, okay? So we speak the same language. We change everything to sine and cosine. That's a really good strategy. If in doubt, convert to sine and cosine, okay? So for instance, if I look at the left side, matching it up to the right, what would cosecant be in terms of either sine or cosine? As I look back, right, we remember that cosecant is what? The reciprocal of sine, right? So cosecant is the same as 1 over sine. So what I'm going to do is over here on this side, I'm going to convert cosecant to simply putting 1 over sine of theta. Okay? Does that make sense? So literally I've taken it, I've substituted for that. Okay? Now what would tangent be? Say again, Josh? It is 1 over cotangent. You're exactly right. What would it be in terms of converting to sine and cosine, though? Sine over cosine. I heard a couple people, but sine over cosine would be the answer. So we're going to put in for tangent. You were right, though, Rose. You could do that way as well. But I'm going to put over here sine of theta over cosine of theta. Okay? Again, this secant, I don't even have to write this. I just know that this is my answer. That's where I'm headed. Okay? And again, I think that that's the best part, if there was a good part of it, is the fact that you do know the answer. You're just trying to get it to equal that. Now, how could I simplify this now? Well, yeah, good, Emma. We could cancel those signs because they're both, they're kind of kitty-cornered to each other, right? So these can be gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday, and there we are. What do we end up having now? What's our next value? 1 over cosine, because this is on the bottom, right? Bless you. 1 over cosine of theta. And then once I get to where I feel like I've hit a brick wall, I just take a peek on the right side to say, what was I getting it to again? And I recognize that 1 over cosine is, in fact, what? Secant of theta. Good, so we can put secant of theta, and that, in fact, does equal this over here. Okay? So what's the right answer? How do I get credit on this problem? It's not this, because I already knew this, right? What is the credit? Where do I get the credit? Showing work throughout. Got me? So is it possible on a more difficult one to get partial credit but yet never get to the answer? The answer is yes, you could. In showing work, that's where I give you the credit. Okay? So just a heads up there. So just real quick, I just want to gauge where we're at because I don't know where we're at with these. How does that? Do you feel comfortable with that? Do you remember this? Cool. Cool, cool. We're going to kind of just keep building on top of that. So as we go, just kind of hold on to that as we keep rolling here. Let's look at 38. All right, what's the answer? 1. That doesn't really help me, does it? Okay? Is there a strategy that maybe you could help us with that maybe we could start off this process in simplifying? We could always convert to sine and cosine, right? Would that be okay? Absolutely, we could. Bless you. Absolutely, we could. And I'm not saying that that's wrong because there's multiple ways to get there. There may be an easier way before we go to sine and cosine, right? That's right. FOIL it out. You see that? Because it's being multiplied, before we do the sine and cosine, that's true. Let's just simply multiply these out since they're back to back, okay? Let's just see what happens. So what's cosecant times cosecant? Cosecant squared, right? Okay, here we go. So we're going to write this down. Cosecant squared. What's cosecant times negative cotangent? That's weird. We just put them together, right? So literally it would be negative cosecant theta, cotangent theta. So we just put them back to back like this, okay? Now we're going to do cotangent. So we're going to go, okay, cotangent times cosecant, what would that equal? And what would that, that'd just be the positive version of this, right? So we'd have positive cosecant of theta, cotangent of theta. Y'all follow me? We're good? And then cotangent times negative cotangent is? Good, Red. Negative cotangent squared of theta, okay? What cancels? Oh yeah, we got a little cancel party going on, right? Feel the excitement? I know Grant does. See that? It's good. So what is cosecant squared plus cotangent squared? Well, now we got to look, right? And here's where Paige was right earlier by saying, hey, I could go to sine and cosine and get the right answer. She could, and get credit for it, absolutely. This would probably be the easier way, just because we're multiplying and then going. But is there an identity that helps me to get cosecant squared plus cotangent squared? Josh? Oh, minus, I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. So what would that be? What identity would that be? Well, we got to kind of go back here, don't we? We've done these. This is what we were doing earlier on number 1. But in this one here, number 2 has these things called Pythagorean identities. You did them last year, I remember. And what we can do is change these around to be able to see if it equals a third item. So which one includes cotangent and cosecant? Squared. Make sure they're squared, right? They have to be squared here. The third one. Good. So if I go backwards to the third one, this is 1 plus cotangent squared theta equals cosecant squared theta. Can I change this identity around to match up to this? Let me see. Bingo. I could subtract cotangent squared, right? And say, okay, if I subtracted this, I can recognize that this cancels. Cosecant squared minus cotangent squared is equal to 1. So what I can do is just substitute in for this and say that that equals 1, and then 1 will equal what my answer was from the top. Okay? Does that make sense? The big thing is you'll have these. You'll have these. I don't want you to memorize them. It's just you'll have to manipulate them, subtract them, change them around to be able to equal what it would be on the other side. Okay? So a second strategy, one would be convert to sine and cosine. The second would be look for identities. Okay? So if I was taking just a couple of strategies, I would look for identities, specifically the Pythagorean ones if they're squared. If you see something squared, to simplify, let's make sure we go to Pythagorean to see if we can simplify on that side. Okay? All right. How do y'all feel on these two? Gucci? Y'all Gucci? Right on. Good stuff. Okay. This next one is one that just kind of goes backwards. That's all we're doing. If you remember, earlier I said, what was tangent of 30 degrees, right? And you would do what?
You'd go do y over x.
Y over x, right? We would do that and we'd simplify, right? Mm-hmm. So like tangent of 30 degrees would be, help me, I think, it's 1/2 over square root of 3 over 2.
Right.
Rocking. Okay? And once I get this, I would flip it, right?
Yeah.
And it would be 2 over square root of 3. I'd cancel here, because this flips to the top. And it would be 1 over square root of 3 or square root of 3 over 3. If you're good, say uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's where we were. This time, we're going to go backwards. So this time, I'm going to say tangent is square root of 3. What's theta? Cool. Let me say that again. So if I said this, if I said we just did this, tangent of 30 equals this, the opposite of that, let me do a different color. Let me go over here on this side. The opposite of that would be if I did tangent of theta equals square root of 3 over 3, where on the unit circle is tangent square root of 3 over 3? 30 degrees, right? Do you see how it's just the opposite of that? So we would just say theta is equal to 30 degrees. Is that the only spot it's 30 degrees?
No.
What's the other one? What's the other one? I think I had.
Oh,
Let me see.
210.
Say that again.
210.
210 is exactly right. Good. Because remember, where is tangent positive? First and third quadrant, right? Y'all with me? Y'all good? We're finishing strong. We got like 6 minutes left, okay? So as we look at 4.2b, let me go back here. I think I had a unit circle. Good. When I look at this, right, we have the values here, but you'll notice that at 30 degrees, yes, tangent was square root of 3 over 3, right? But then also, where is tangent also positive? Third quadrant. Very good, because all short teachers care. Kennedy's got me saying it, okay? So now I've got 210 degrees would be that same spot as well, okay? All right, look at this. What would be the sine of theta equals 1/2? Someone stand up and tell me where that would be, where theta would be there. Rose. Say again?
You say sine?
For sine.
30 degrees.
And?
And 150 degrees.
Nicely done. Did you see that? All right, let me try this again. Someone other than Rose. Nicely done, my man. What if I said, where's cosine of theta equal to 1? Zaria, let's go.
0.
Nicely done. Good, good. You see that? It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. What about where, oh, this is good, coach. This is good. Cosecant of theta equals -2. That's a good one. I got 3 tickets if you can stand up and tell me now. That was 2. Sorry. 3 tickets if you want. Smell good. I'm telling you. Savannah, come on.
210.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 330.
And 330. That's right. You're exactly right. First of all, how do we do that? Well, let's find the sign first. Cosecant is -2, right? What sign?
1 over
-1 over 2, right? Because it's the reciprocal. Where is sine -1/2? Booyah. That's where the y is -1/2. 210 and 330. Cool? All right. Now on these other ones, I kind of took you further. I took you further than what we needed to, because it just said to find it between 0 and 90 degrees. Okay? So technically, you only needed one of them. You only needed the fact that this was 30, but I wanted you to actually go on the journey of knowing both. Okay? That there are normally two spots. In Zaria's case, there was only one, but normally there's 2 spots there. Real quick, last one. Where's cosine of theta 1/2? We'll finish with that one. Say that again, Rose.
60 degrees.
60 degrees and 300. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Kennedy, because you were starting too. Where is tangent undefined? I'll come over here. Where's tangent undefined?
Pi over 90 degrees.
And
270.
270. Good. Y'all follow the fact that you can put that in either radians or degrees? Y'all got that? Okay. How do we feel on that part? Y'all Gucci on that part? Y'all gotta start saying Gucci. That's my goal this year. That's my goal, Kayla. What do you think? Is that a good goal? It's a good goal. I think is that it, Coach? Let's see if we got. Oh yeah, we got that one, and we got this one. We're gonna start class with this one next time, real quick. Okay, real quick. If you want to put stuff away and just listen, I'm cool with that. A 30-meter line is used to tether a helium-filled balloon. Okay, so here we go. Here comes the balloon. I think. Let me make sure. Because of a breeze, the line makes an angle of approximately 75 degrees. Here we are. Where does 30 go? Yeah, here's Coach J, 6 foot of him right here. Here comes the balloon on this side. This is 30 meters. Cool? The question becomes, draw the right triangle. Use a trig function to write an equation involving the unknowns. What is the height? How do I find the height? I got tickets if someone could help me. Someone comes up and shows me. Thomas, let's go. Just show me the expression. How do I find the height? Thomas, most likely to come back to GAC as a teacher. No? Good. Sine of 75. Why did he use sine, by the way? Why do you use sine? Yeah, because the opposite is our height, right? We're trying to find the opposite. Hypotenuse is our, what we know. Nicely done, my man. Good job. Hey, good work. Again, hey, real quick. 4.2, and I'm going to stand it, Josh. 4.2 was due last night. Got me? If you did not turn that in for one reason or another,